In a small town, during an age of plague and turmoil, a quiet boy was born. He was the son of a glovemaker, educated in a simple grammar school, destined perhaps for trade. Yet, this man would one day coin thousands of words, define the English language, and write stories so profound. They would shape how humanity sees itself. He is William Shakespeare. Born in Stratford-upon-Avon in 1564, his beginnings gave little hint of the genius to come. The historical record is famously sparse, leaving us with tantalizing questions. We know he married young, had children, and then, sometime in his 20s, he vanished from the records of Stratford-on-Avon to dramatically reappear in the bustling, dangerous world of London. London was a city obsessed with theatre. It was here, in the shadow of the Great Plague and the Queen's Court, that William Shakespeare, the ambitious young provincial, decided to bet his life on the power of a pen. By the early 1590s, the upstart crow, as one critic famously called him, was making waves. Shakespeare didn't just write plays. He was a triple threat: a writer, an actor, and a shareholder in a leading company, the Lord Chamberlain's Men, later known as the King's Men. The structure was key to his success. As a shareholder, he had an immediate, hungry market for his scripts. He understood the economics of theatre, and he wrote with ferocious speed and variety. From the searing historical drama of Richard III to the romantic comedy of A Midsummer Night's Dream, he mastered every genre the audience demanded. His early work was a masterclass in adapting and improving. He took simple histories and cheap tragedies and elevated them with lyrical verse and deeply human characters. But the pinnacle of this period came when he and his company built their own legendary venue, the Globe Theatre. The Globe was a powerhouse, a democratic space where the common groundlings stood alongside the nobles, all captivated by the words of the man from Stratford. The stage was set for his golden age. Between 1599 and 1608, Shakespeare delivered an unparalleled sequence of masterpieces that define his legacy. This was the era of the great tragedies: Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, and Macbeth. These plays weren't just stories, they were deep psychological studies. Shakespeare didn't just tell us what happened. He took us inside the minds of his characters, exploring the universal questions of ambition, madness, love, and betrayal. He wrote not in dry, scholarly verse, but in blank verse, an iambic pentameter, weaving a rhythm that was both poetic and instantly accessible to the common ear. He coined phrases we still use daily. All that glitters is not gold. Break the ice, and to be or not to be. His genius lay in taking the language of the street and turning it into timeless philosophy. Yet, despite his fame, the man himself remained a mystery. He was intensely private. While his contemporaries penned long autobiographical poems, Shakespeare gave us almost nothing. The work was the man. The drama of his life was on the stage, not in the public records. Around 1613, wealthy and respected, Shakespeare made a surprising choice. He returned to Stratford. He bought property, settled down, and effectively retired from the theatrical world of London. He had finished his life's work, concluding his writing with magnificent, magical romances like The Tempest. His final profound act was perhaps the most crucial: the publication of the first folio in 1623, 7 years after his death. Without this collection, compiled by his friends and fellow actors, nearly half of his plays, including Macbeth and Twelfth Night, would have been lost to history forever. The first folio was a testament to the respect and love his colleagues had for him. It ensured that the voice that had defined the Elizabethan age would echo across centuries. Shakespeare's legacy isn't just his stories, it's the lens through which we view human nature. His characters, from the hesitant Prince Hamlet to the ambitious Lady Macbeth, have become archetypes woven into the very fabric of our culture. William Shakespeare, the man who left few personal records, ultimately gave us the most comprehensive record of all: the human heart. He proved that the greatest power an individual can possess is the power of language. He is the most quoted writer in history, still taught, still performed, and still relevant. His poetry transcends culture, politics, and time itself. The quiet boy from Stratford-upon-Avon became the Bard of Avon, and the world has been speaking his language ever since. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the life of the Bard. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more explorations into history's greatest minds. We'll see you in the next one.